Welcome into another edition of Splitter Segments. Joined alongside now with men's volleyball, we have Matthew Gentry, one of the student athletes, as well as the head coach, John Cash. Discussing a couple of different things going on with LMU men's volleyball, including the upcoming 2022 season that will start in January. We're going to start with you, Matthew. You have a big thing coming up here in the month of December before the regular season starts. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you going overseas to play a little volleyball?
Yeah, so I'll be going overseas to play in Thailand for the U21 beach national team representing the USA, and we'll be playing all the other nations who are part of the World Championships. So it's a huge opportunity, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to get better.
Going from Harrogate to Thailand is not necessarily a usual move. How does something like this come about, and how did you get to be one of the lucky few?
So Coach actually sent me an email about it, and I went down to Florida to try out, and me and my partner, we made the cut, went back to training. Got to train for 3-4 days back in Fort Lauderdale, and then we got an email saying we're going. And so ever since, we've been attending Zoom meetings and filling out paperwork and visa stuff, and so it's been a great experience overall.
Now, you're talking about the training and the different things that go into this. A normal student athlete has classes, they have different things going with, they have their own team to kind of worry about. You're training for something that's separate from this university. How has that been in a transitional period, knowing you've got to keep up with what's going on with Coach Cash and his practice, but also what's going on with you going over to Thailand?
It's been interesting because beach volleyball is way different than indoor volleyball. So just going back and forth between indoor practice, because we just finished with our 45 official days, and then between that and then going to the beach, performing both at a really high level it's been difficult because it's two totally different approaches to the game, two totally different positions. I don't pass on the indoor court, but I'm forced to do everything. I don't pass or set on the indoor court, and I'm forced to do everything on the beach. And so just being able to stay at a high level for both and make sure everybody's happy with my performance on both courts is something that I've been juggling. So
how has the training been, knowing that you've got to do that part and then you've got to worry about going overseas, and I'm assuming you're one of only just a select few that gets to be a part of this?
Yeah, so I'm one of 4 guys. It's me and my partner, and then 2 other guys. And so it's stressful knowing that you're going to go over and represent a country like the United States, because you have a target on your back. We've been in multiple Zoom meetings with the coaches, and they're letting us know, like, you got to be ready to play. And so it's been very stressful. Not stressful, but it's a lot of weight to carry, especially since this is my first year performing on this high of a level. Because I only started playing beach when I came here. Mm-hmm. Coach had a player, Evan Corey, who got me into it, and so I haven't been playing that long. So I'm not as tenured as some of these European players who are playing on the FIVB tour, who are playing professionally already. And so it's a great opportunity.
To you, Coach Cash, I mean, this is a big deal, not only for him, but also for your program, knowing that you've got a select person that's playing for the United States.
Absolutely. I mean, anytime you get an opportunity to represent your country that Matt's getting to do, what a high honor.
Yeah. Really
the highest honor you can have as an athlete. When we grow up, we're all chanting USA, USA, and he gets to be a part of that and actually hear that.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. On the flip side of that, yeah, it is a extraordinary accomplishment for our school to have not just Matt, but numerous guys who are excelling on the beach side, who are ranked nationally, who've participated in USA Volleyball, where you're traditionally seeing UCLA, USC, Long Beach. You're used to seeing a lot of those names represent our country. Some people see LMU and they go, "Oh, Loyola Marymount."
Yeah.
We're the other LMU.
Wrong coast.
Yeah. We're actually playing. So, it's one of those things where we get excited about that. That's something that helps our brand grow. We love both sides of the game and opportunities for all these young people to get out and play and have fun with it.
He mentioned Evan Corey and himself and different ones. How does this help with you building this program? I've talked with him a little bit before we got on camera that I've watched this program in men's volleyball from its start, and it feels like it just keeps going up, and you get done with the season, it's like, okay, what is it left for them to do? And then you go to the next season and you all outdo it, and it's like it just keeps going up. This has got to be another diamond in that recruiting for this program.
Absolutely. I mean, you're broadening your base Obviously, it's a sport we want to grow on campus and make something bigger than it is actually right now. I feel like we got some irons in the fire with that'll be fruitful down the road. But in the meantime, it's something that we participate in. We've participated in since my first year here, sending guys to the Collegiate Beach tournament, where we have representation, and we finished very solid. So again, what it does for us on the hard court is help us slow the game down, because in the beach game it's a two-man game.
Yeah.
And so the game's played at a whole different pace and level. When you get out here in your sixes, it is a more physical game, but at the same time, you see things much quicker than you normally would, which allow you to play this game and slow it down, and gives us the ability, quite frankly, to compete with the best teams out there in Division I, Division II volleyball.
We're going to talk about the schedule coming up in just a second, but I want to come back to you. You're getting ready to leave just in the next couple of days. Tell us a little bit about the itinerary, the schedule you're getting ready to go through, because most student athletes are getting ready to do finals. Some are getting ready to graduate. Some are going to go home for Christmas for 3-4 weeks, whatever it is. You're going to have a completely different schedule moving through the month of December.
Yeah, so to start, I leave home on Friday, and I get to spend 2 days with my family, Friday, Saturday. And then Sunday morning, I fly to Chula Vista, San Diego, to the Olympic Training Center. And when we get there, we're going to get briefed, and then we basically go right into training immediately. And so we're doing 2 days. So we do 2 days on Monday and Tuesday, and we leave Tuesday all the way to Doha, Qatar. And so that's a 17-hour flight. And
Not that long, really.
It's the longest. First off, I've never been out of the country. And second off, I've never flown more than 6 hours, 7 hours. And so 17 hours is going to be a whole different experience to me. And then once we get Doha, Qatar, we fly straight to Phuket, Thailand, which is another 15 hours, 14 hours. So, and then once we hit Thailand, we then we have a jet lag policy that the USA Volleyball Federation gave to us. So the gold medalists in Tokyo, the indoor women's team, had a jet lag program, and they basically just translated that down to us because it worked for the indoor women. So we have the same jet lag policy to get out of that jet lag, and then as soon as we're there and kicking, we're in the high gear and we're playing. So,
all right, individually, how excited are you to be representing your country right now and getting to do this? I mean, we talk all the time with coaches and different players and different student athletes about your college experience. Your college experience, you're going overseas and representing your country.
It's surreal. Everybody's been asking me about it, and everybody's been talking to me about it, and I still I still can't believe that it's happening, because a few months ago it was just a dream. I was playing on the weekends in Florida and New Orleans and in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's like I've been traveling a little bit for beach volleyball, and then all of a sudden I got this opportunity to try out for the national team, and I went home to my mom, and my mom's like, yeah, go try out for the national team. And it wasn't like she didn't believe that I could do it. She was just like the national team, and so it's just a surreal experience, and I am so beyond excited for it. It's training with the best coaches, just beach volleyball legends. It's awesome.
Now, you cannot come back and act like a coach when you come back into the gym here a little bit.
No,
and we're going to use that as a little bit of a segue, because the schedule's coming up. Believe it or not, we're at about a month away from men's volleyball. Yep. You all have a monstrous schedule coming up, if you want to talk about that, Coach.
Yeah, it's a great schedule. Playing pretty much everybody in the MIVA conference twice, a triple header with the defending national championship in their arena, 10,000-seat arena, where when they get in there and get loud and proud, it's an exciting place to play, but they love volleyball.
Yeah, I do.
So it's going to be one of those things. And then, of course, Conference Carolinas, our own IVA opponents in our conference, and trying to defend our championship. There is no rest for the weary, so we've been working really hard. We're really excited about that schedule, starting off with Lewis, who was a Final Four team last year, right out of the gate here in Mary Mars Gymnasium. We will be playing all of our matches in here. It's pretty exciting to have that home court advantage and see where we stack up, because we've put the work in, but the proof has to be on game day.
It's amazing. I've talked to some other coaches from other sports. We talk about schedules and different things. Your schedule is really top heavy at home. You have a lot of big hitters coming here to the Mary Mars Gymnasium.
Correct. Yeah, like I said, first match is number 4 Lewis from last year. They'll be ranked right up there, followed by Purdue Fort Wayne the day after, who's always in the top half of that conference. Come back around, we host Ball State, who's the cradle of coaches in men's volleyball, and they've got a new coach who just came off of winning an NAIA national championship. So, and then we come back in here at the end of the month with King, obviously one of our big local rivals.
I know you enjoy that one.
Oh, yeah, we always love playing that one. That's a fun match. But then Loyola of Chicago coming in, Sister Jean. So we'll see how she likes Baptistville, and then to follow that up with McKendree, who was in the top 6 last year. I mean, there's no rest for the weary, and then you jump into February. We play some Conference Carolinas opponents in Erskine, Emmanuel, Tusculum, another local rival, and then head off to Hawaii. Quincy, we go to the Lindenwood Invite. We play Ohio State twice at their place. I mean, it just goes on and on.
I know we've talked a little bit in the past, and we're going to talk about the Hawaii matchup in just a second, but we've talked about going out and playing those power hitters, playing teams that are nationally ranked. You do not shy away from that. You want that kind of competition because you agree that it makes this team better if they go up against that competition.
Right. You're only as good as who you see every day, right? And so we always believe that if we can put as much pressure on each other in practice, then we're ready to play anybody that we can play. But at the same time, I can't replicate Olympic players from other countries.
Yes.
And those other schools have that. And so when you get to play against those guys, they're going to make you better instantly because you have to problem solve on the fly. So what I see on film, and then all of a sudden this guy starts to do something completely different, we're like, wow, that's a different skill set.
Yeah.
Well, that does nothing but help us learn and grow from that, add it to our skill set if possible, and just get better. And that's what prepares us at the end of the year. There's nothing we haven't seen when it comes conference tournament time for us. We've seen it all, and that's the whole point. We schedule aggressively. We feel like we have a top 10 national schedule this year. So it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of learning going on.
Part of that schedule, you're going to Hawaii. And I know a lot of people will take a look at that and they're like, okay, they're going to Hawaii, it's a vacation. But you're going there to work 3 matchups against one of the top teams in the nation, not only just this year, but has been nationally year after year after year.
Yeah, defending national champions, and they return plenty of studs. They're really good.
Very good.
Yeah, it's that we've got our hands tied up there. We're going to have to work hard and really be one unit to beat them. That's not a team that you beat with 1 or 2 guys.
Yeah.
It takes everybody, even the guys leading from behind.
Yeah.
It is a daunting atmosphere to play in. But with that being said, the opportunity to play them 3 days in a row, 3 matches in a row, what we'll gain from that, and we're not going in there going, we'll just get better. And we always want to get better. We want to win.
Yeah.
I mean, what a statement that would make for our program to actually be able to get in there and compete at a high level and pull one off. That would be something. So, there's a lot of high goals out there, and you always aspire to be where somebody's been. Mm-hmm. And they've been at the peak. A lot of the teams we play, Loyola's won 2 national championships in the last 10 years. Ohio State's won 3 national championships in the last. Hawaii just won a national championship. The list goes on. So these are teams we want. If you want to be at that level, you better be playing those guys so you can learn and get better and become your version of that.
From the student-athlete perspective of that, you take a look at this tough schedule. You've had practices. You know what's laid in front of you. How do you attack that as a student-athlete?
I mean, that's the whole reason I came here was because the strength of schedule, you can't overlook it. Mm-hmm. And I love competing at a high level. I love competing when people are better than me because that just only makes me better. And so there is nothing more that I like than the strength of schedule here. So some may look at it and it'd be daunting, but me, I'm bring it on. Mm-hmm. I am all for it.
We can talk schedule all day long, I imagine. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the team here a little bit.
Yep.
We've talked year after year. You are always talking about the next recruit, the next players that are coming in to make this team better. We were joking before we hit record on the camera. You can see how much taller he is than me. You're bringing in Amazons, it seems like, year after year for this volleyball team.
Well, it's recruiting. Yeah, I mean, but don't judge a book by its cover either. Yeah. I mean, we do have some big guys that can play and do really great things. But some of our guys that you would look at and go, oh, he's an undersized outside.
Just fly.
They just fly and absolutely hammer a ball harder than anybody who's 6'6", 6'8". Yeah, that's all about the culture of what we have. That's what we have built here. We are not all from the same parts of the same places, but our mentality and our goals are 100% together and the same on and off the court. Our culture is as good as anyone's, and when you build that culture, you start to get more and more like people who want to be a part of that. We're not big. We don't have a big recruiting board where we have 1,000 names on there for one class. And we're very, very picky. They have to fit us. They have to fit us when we're playing video games.
Yeah.
They have to fit us in the study hall. They have to, there's a lot of things that they've got to be able to match up with that's going to make this a viable candidate for our program and a viable resource for the program. And vice versa, that we're the resource that they want as well. So, yeah, that's just more culture than anything else.
You talk about the culture. I know that's got to be something that this team comes together with, to where they want to be that tight group, to where when you bring recruits in, hey, you're going to fit with us, and we're going to continue to get better year after year. And we've seen, again, your team seems to get better and better and better each and every year.
Yeah, absolutely. That's and I think you're going to see a really solid version of these guys this year, that no matter what the chips look like on the floor, they're never going to stop playing. They're never going to give up on one another. And anybody who is ready to come in and fill in a role will be more than ready to come in and fill in that role, more than we've ever had it in the history of the program. I really feel like we're kind of coming into our own as far as our identity and who we are and what we want to be, and the leadership's there. Not just from the coaching staff, but more so from the players, because let's be honest, if you want to be a successful program, it has to be a player-led program on and off the court. And I really feel like we have that this year.
All right, I'm going to give you a little open mic here, and that's probably a little crazy, but we've talked about the schedule. You got Ball State, some of these other big hitters, and you think about, I'm using Ball State, you think, okay, that's a Division I school.
Right.
And you're bringing them into the Mary Mars Gymnasium. This place is going to be crazy. It's got to be packed. Give you a moment here. Why should the community, why does the public come out and pack this place to make sure teams like Ball State, Lewis, McKendree, some of these ones that are coming in, to make them leave here going, wow, we don't want to come back there again, because that is a crazy place to play?
Well, first and foremost, supporting our student athletes.
Yeah.
These guys have put in countless hours in the community this fall, community service, things like that, giving back to the kids here at our academy. When they go home, they go and give little mini camps to their local high schools, all that stuff. These guys give a lot of their time to everyone else. We did our inter-squad scrimmage this year, donated the money and food to the animal shelter, local animal shelter. So all we're asking is to come out and support us and just be a fan of what we are doing holistically, because it's more than just volleyball to us, 100%. But we want this place rocking. Don't get me wrong. This is one of the loudest, if not the loudest, venue in men's volleyball.
I believe it.
The acoustics in here are unreal. So when we pack this place out, they can't hear me, which that's an event in and of itself, because I'm a pretty loud guy.
There have been times I can't hear myself and I have a headset on. So. But your opening game, January 8th, it's part of a triple header on campus that day.
Yes.
And we're trying to get people to leave, to come after the men's basketball game, come straight over and support your team on that day as well. So
excellent.
We're looking for good things on the season. But before we get to that, good luck to you as well this month and this December, and bring home the championship.
I will try, yes.
All right, Thais, thanks.
Absolutely.
All right, that's another edition of the Splitter Segments.